Okay, so this is a bronze bust of Frederick Leighton by Sir Thomas Brock, and it belongs to the Artist Rifles Regiment. They've loaned it to us for our Artist Rifles exhibition, and it's come to me for surface cleaning. After photography, the first thing to do was to remove the light surface particulate dust, which is basically what we would think of as household dust. And the best way to get rid of that is by brush and vacuum, which sounds quite extreme, but we use this thing called a conservation vac, or a museum vac, and we have a little bit of netting over the end, which, just in case any sort of small pieces were to come apart. It's not very likely with something like this, but it's good practice anyway, in case anything gets sucked up that we don't want to go up. And then we would just use a brush and very gently flick the dust out, capturing it in the vacuum. So once that's done, all over, we can see that there's still a layer of dust actually on the surface, and this is the second layer, known as bonded particulate dust, and what it's actually done is slightly chemically interacted with the surface of the piece, and with the wax that's present underneath, which was part of the original surface patination. So we have to do a little bit of cleaning to try and determine what the best way of removing this bonded dirt is. A few tests are undertaken in a place that's unobtrusive. Okay, so you can see here the areas where the first surface cleaning tests were undertaken. The one on the left is where we used a swab with deionised water, and the one on the right is where we used this broomstick. And actually the broomstick is really quite effective, and it has the bonus that it doesn't leave little tiny cotton fibres attached to the surface. Broomstick, which is a little bit like conservation grade blue tack. When it's completely used, it goes a very dark grey, and that's all of the dirt that it's trapped. But when it's brand new, it's sort of quite white. We decided actually, rather than use the water, we would just do the whole thing with this broomstick, which is being quite effective actually. So when we're using broomstick, it's actually a case of rolling it over the surface rather than rubbing it, because this effectively lifts the dirt up off the surface instead of spreading it around. There's an area around here where you can see the before and after results of using this. Quite a nice part actually, because it says T. Brock, Sculptor 1881. I'm just going to go in from the top. You can see that immediately begins to bring it up much more cleanly. So once the bonded dirt has been removed in this process, that will be pretty much finished then, and it won't need anything further doing to it. The base will be treated. We haven't quite decided how that's going to happen yet, but there will probably be some kind of process to remove the tarnish very gently from these plates, so that the names and the dates can be more easily read. Getting him in to having him ready for the exhibition is taken about a week. There's probably only about a day left of work on him. I'm quite looking forward to seeing him when he's all sort of together, back on his base, ready for the exhibition. Working with busts, when you stare at them for sort of such a long time, you get quite fond of them really.